Do you want to learn how to make your gardening experience more cost effective and efficient? Let me show you how. Welcome back to Seed Time and Harvest. I am so happy you are here with me in this video. And remember, we're going to be looking at ways to be more cost effective in the garden. As you can see behind me, I have a lot of fruit trees. I brought a few home with us from Florida when we moved. And over the years, I have accumulated so many fruit trees, so many pots, some here, some on the other side. But I don't know if you've been to the store recently to try to purchase pots. You know, Home Depot, Lowe's, even a small 12-inch pot, you're looking close to $10. But there is a better way. In our garden, believe it or not, we have a lot of fruit trees. We have things growing in pots as small as 1 gallon and even smaller, some items, all the way up to 20 gallon. This is our biggest pot. You can get this pot. This is a utility tub at Home Depot. They're like $10 a pop, and you can fit big plants in here. Remember, your fruit trees will only grow as big as the root, right? So if you want to be able to have fruit from your trees, you're going to need a bigger pot. In addition to allowing your root size to get bigger in this larger container, say for instance you are renting, you're in a position that you don't own the space. It's very easy for you to have your plant in these pots for a number of years and then move them around. Most convenient thing, it has handles, and because with soil, plant, water, your pots can get very heavy, it's a lot easier to carry this utility tub because it has handles. Now, bear in mind, it was not intended for gardening, and just like most pots that you will try to convert into a growing space, a container garden, you will need to put drain holes in the bottom of this pot. You can use a large size drill or just whatever sharp object you have. Cut some holes so that you will have good drainage. So remember the two things that we're looking at in this video. First, being cost effective in the garden, and 2, efficiency. So let's look at being cost effective. This pot was like $10, and that was a while ago. So $10 per pot, over time that starts to add up. It's a lot of money. And if you have as many pots as I have, you say, okay, Sister Sharice, that's too much. All right, so I was able to come across something that's even more cost effective than this pot. And that is grow bags. Grow bags are actually fabric pots. They also have handles, and they are a lot cheaper than this plastic bin. So let's get into it and see what we have here. So this one is a pack of 7, and it's nicely tight. You can tell that it was vacuum sealed, really nicely packaged. It has 7 different sizes. It has a 3, 5, 7, and 10 gallon. Though it is smaller than the 20 gallon pot behind me, I can put a lot more plants in this packet. So I'm gonna get into it and we'll see what we have. All right, so I'm gonna open this packet right now. And all you need is just a pair of scissors. Once you remove the tape, it comes nicely zipper sealed, and again, everything is vacuum sealed inside this bag, okay? So I'm just gonna get my scissors and cut this open. Be careful not to cut the bag. There are plants that are sensitive to light, or heat, I should say. So if you have plants that are such, you can easily move your grow bags from one area to the next. This one is the 1 gallon. You have 3 gallon, 5 gallons, and 10 gallons. All right, 7 different size bags in one pack. And how much does that cost? About $16.99. You can grow 7 different plants, all different sizes in these packets. Let's open another one. There's one that I really want to show you. Here's another bag that I'm going to open. I really like raised beds, okay? I love raised beds, and I was very happy when I found that they have grow bags that are raised beds. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, I am very intrigued in trying this. This one is actually, as you can see, a very small raised bed, and it's sectioned in 2. So you have two different sections that you can grow in. If you want to make a square foot garden, this would be ideal. It's really small, but it's cute. I like it. All right, there you have it. This is a 5-gallon raised bed in a grow bag. So the possibilities are endless. You can go from a 1-gallon all the way up to a 30-gallon grow bag that you can put a wide variety of plants in. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of grow bag. One that I find is because it's a bag, it drains quickly. So the water drains from these bags very, very quickly. And so as opposed to a pot, you will find that you have to water your plants a lot more often when growing in grow bags. This is one good example of why I like using grow bags. I've had this citrus plant since it was a seed in this grow bag. So it's been here for a couple of years. And yes, it's dry at the top right now, but I can see still have moisture in it. But what I really love about this is that, of course, citruses are tropicals. They are more southern plants, but it's very easy for me to lift this bag all by myself and move it from the garden into the garage to be able to overwinter the plant. And that's one reason why I can say, yes, I like growing in grow bags. I love using grow bags. And I would recommend if you're by yourself, you want to be able to maneuver plants really easy. You want to save some money because, as you can see, $10 for one pot versus $17 for 7, it's a lot more cost effective. In this raised bed, one of 3, we have potatoes, beans, ginger, and oregano, and this ginormous lemon balm. So now we're gonna get into how to make your garden space more efficient, because this plant being in this bed is not ideal. Lemon balm is one of my favorite things to grow from the herb family. I love the smell of it. It's really so lemony. It smells delicious. I love it in tea. So I'm going to cut this plant back and I don't want to get rid of it. I'm going to preserve it for later. But it's not efficient in this space. You know, I have a raised bed. I want to grow a lot of plants here. And between the lemon balm and the oregano, they're taking over half the bed. And that makes it not ideal for growing in raised beds. So let's get into it. I'm going to just cut it back a lot. All right. And another thing that you can look at to know when your plant is almost at the end of its life is that it starts to go to seed. As you can see with this lemon balm, it's producing seeds, and it's not going to get as prolific as it is now, but it will still survive through the winter because it is a cold hardy plant. Because I love it so much, I want to be able to enjoy lemon balm during the cool winter months, sipping my tea. So I'm going to preserve a lot of this. I'm just going to cut it back, and then when we get to the root, I'll show you what to do. Look at how much space it's opened up in this raised bed. I'm going to put in some topsoil in the bottom of the bag just so that there is a little bit more room for the plant's roots to be able to go out. I'm not going to put a whole lot in there. Now I'll just backfill with topsoil. You can use topsoil or compost. Your herbs don't require a whole lot of nutrients. So if topsoil you have is fine. If you have some compost, that would be even better. I always feed my plants anyway. So topsoil is what I have. And we are going to fill this bag with topsoil. So one thing you want to do, make sure you go underneath the root ball just in case there is a space there. Make sure it's completely filled in. There we have it. Our lemon balm has a new home. Because it's recently transplanted, I'm not going to leave it outside to get cold. I'm going to make sure I protect this plant during the winter so that I can have it growing again during the spring. But you can see how much space is opened up in the raised bed now just by removing that herb. Even the oregano I'm going to remove because herbs do take up a lot of space. They grow very vigorously in the garden. So I would not put herbs in my raised bed, put them in the garden because it's not convenient for space. So I'm going to use the rest of the topsoil. I'm going to fill in this hole that I made from removing the plant, and I will be able to get a lot more than one plant in this space. And this is one way you can make gardening a lot more efficient with your space. Today, you learn how to make gardening more cost effective and your space more efficient, all with the use of grow bags. I am going to now water my lemon balm to make sure that it's good, it's healthy, it's hydrated, and I'll be able to get more harvest from that. What I've harvested today, I am going to freeze dry them. So let me know if you want to learn how to make freeze dried lemon balm and even make tea bags. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on Seed Time and Harvest. Until next time, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. Have a good one and happy planting. Bye.